Designing a portfolio is not the easiest task on the planet, and that is why in today's video I'm going to talk to you about everything you need to know, walk you through step by step on every strategy you need to outline, as well as coming up with a good design for your portfolio while putting into practice the best things you want to communicate when you are thinking about designing your portfolio. Yes, there will be a part 2 for this particular video, so if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that particular video. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Gloria and let's get to it. So first things first, we're gonna cover this video in 3 particular segments. So we're gonna talk about the audience, we're gonna talk about your uniqueness, and then we are going to talk about your strategy. Because yes, you need to have a strategy that is backing your portfolio so that you communicate the right information to the right people about the right things. Without diving too deep into your audience, basically you're supposed to categorize the people who are going to go through your portfolio into 3 main categories. Now the first category of people is going to be, who do you actually want to work with? Are you looking to work into Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 600 companies, mid and small size businesses, or are you looking to work in the startup industry? Guys, when you're building your portfolio, this needs to be very clear because you'll have to assess the budgets that these particular companies have. You also have to look at the opportunity gap that is there and how easy it is for you to penetrate into that market. And so you really need to nail down who exactly you want to work with, and that is the person you're supposed to communicate to with regards to your portfolio. Now, if you're an independent contractor or a freelancer, then you also need to think about the kinds of people you want to work with. If you're looking to work with founders, then your portfolio should be really communicating to founders and CEOs and people who have businesses. If you're looking to communicate to people who are just getting started, maybe they're new into their career, then your portfolio should actually talk to those people. Now, basically what I'm trying to say is that you really need to nail down who exactly are you talking to and who do you actually want to work with, because this is going to also determine the flow of your portfolio, and it's also going to determine the kind of information that you are going to put up on your portfolio. Once you've analyzed and really had a clear understanding of who you want to communicate with on your portfolio, the next thing is to determine what are their expectations and mannerisms. Guys, this is essentially going to help you, especially when you're coming up with your call to actions, as well as the kind of conversion you actually want to have with your portfolio. Now, I know most of us, when you're building portfolios, you don't really think about this deeply, but it actually plays a role because everything that happens in the corporate world is led more so by psychology, and therefore you need to think about the marketing psychology, conversion psychology, as well as how people actually react when you meet their expectations. When it comes to people like founders, they do not have time, so you need to make it very easy and very clear for them to know on how to proceed with the next steps, just in case they get interested in you as a person, the projects you've done, or just something about your portfolio makes them excited. You need to make it very easy for them to get in touch with you. If you are working with professionals or individuals, most of the time they will need hand holding. They will need to be confirmed to that this is the right choice, you have everything under control, and you need to give a lot more affirmations. Now that will mean that your portfolio should actually be more convincing. It should have a lot more sections so that it makes it easy for them to believe in what you have to do. The next thing is to determine what action do you, as the person who owns the portfolio, want them to take. Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to, I don't know, follow you on social media? Because that's also a part of conversion. You need to decide what exactly do you want people to do once they are done going through your portfolio, because it's essential they know the next step. Now, I really want to encourage you guys to use the rule of 1. You need to determine one set of action that you want them to really take. And this is the high level action that you want them to consistently take every single time. If you're a freelancer, chances are you're struggling with money and client acquisition. So the one action you really need to make them take is to reach out to you about your services, to book you for a call, or even to get a deeper understanding of how they can get to work with you. You need to have one action that you want them to really take, because this is going to slow down the decision making process, save them time of course, and to reduce decision fatigue, because sometimes people don't take action because they're having decision fatigue. If you're also enjoying the video, by the way, make sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know which parts of the video or which thing I've shared in this particular section of the video that makes it interesting and you would want to learn more about. Once you're clear on the audiences, the next thing is to determine your uniqueness. Now, a lot of people, especially the clients I get to work with when I'm building their portfolio, they usually come up to me with the question of, what do you think makes me unique? That is what we're breaking down in this part of the video. Now, when it comes to your uniqueness, the only thing you're supposed to look at is you, your experiences, and what shaped who you became. But I'm gonna backtrack this a little bit. So the first thing that goes into your uniqueness is your vibe. Are you more so of a low-key person? You don't like being in extremely loud places? Are you soft-spoken? Are you someone who likes retreating? Do you enjoy your space? Are you an extrovert? Do you enjoy people's company? You need to really clearly distinguish what your vibe is, how you actually like interacting with people, and what makes you you. You need to understand how you relate with other people, what your energy levels look like when you're around people, and what makes you very, very interesting or a good person to actually have around when someone is hanging around you. Once you've discovered what your vibe is, the next thing is to discover what kind of conversion do you actually prefer, because conversion is really important, especially when you're having a portfolio. You're either trying to look for a job, look for a new client, or look for a way to get into a project that is going to basically generate you money. There are mainly three ways you can actually convert a person or a client who goes through your portfolio. Now, the first way is to get them to hire you. So if you're looking for a job, you need to ensure that you've optimized your portfolio in every section, that when someone gets to go through your portfolio, they can be able to clearly see where they can get in touch with you so that they hire you on that opportunity. The second way of conversion is to get someone to actually book you on a sales call or a discovery call. This is more so important for independent contractors and freelancers, because you'd want the person who wants to work with you to get a better understanding or a general overview of what it is to actually work with you and how they can be able to get to work with you, what are your processes, and basically an onboarding process that makes sense to them, that is going to ensure or is going to affirm to them that you know what you're doing and this is the best action for them. And then the third way of conversion is to actually get people to follow you on social media. Yes, if you're a creative personality just like me, you would want them to either join your newsletter or to follow you on any social media platform of your choice. If you're currently not looking to be hired, if you're trying to build a personal brand, the main way that or the main funnel you're gonna use is to redirect the traffic that you're getting from a portfolio back to the platform or the channel that you actually want to grow online. Then the other thing that contributes to your uniqueness is going to be what experiences and what lessons have you picked along your professional journey that have made you design the way you think. Because yes, the one thing that makes you unique in every aspect of your life is the way you think and the way you act when you're put in specific situations, based on the experiences and the lessons that you've picked up along the way as you are dealing with your professional life. Because let's face it, the only thing that makes us really different from each other is the way we think and the way we execute our thoughts. How fast it is, how long it takes you to act on something, how easy it is for you to be creative and come up with a solution, and how you actually move from point A to the completing the kind of project you're trying to do. This is what makes you unique. Now, let's talk strategy, because yes, your portfolio does require a strategy. And the first thing that I want you to pay attention to is the goal you actually have with your portfolio. Now, every person who has a portfolio, especially in this day and age, they have a different goal. They have a different way of doing things, and of course, they have a different expectation with them building their portfolio. The first one is, are you building this portfolio to be a complementary to your LinkedIn profile and your resume, to help the person who's trying to hire you get a better understanding of how you do things? Yes, you need to pay attention to that, because if you're using your portfolio to be complementary to the already existing professional information you've shared with the person who has your opportunity, then you really need to think about it in that direction. Then the second thing you need to think about is conversion. Are you looking at building a portfolio that's going to be conversion centric, or a landing page on its own, such that when someone gets to land on your portfolio, the only thing that they're thinking about is getting in touch with you immediately? and how fast is it going to be for them to actually convert, whether it's for them to send you an email, for them to actually get in touch with you, probably book a call with you, or if it's for them to actually hire you on a job. You need to be very clear on what conversion you want, and you need to understand what is the goal of this particular conversion. Then the next thing that goes in here is your arrangement. Now, I know you guys might not be thinking about this, but you really need to come up with an arrangement style that actually communicates that you're an organized person. There's no company that I know of that is in corporate that wants to hire someone who's disorganized. So let's talk about your arrangement style. The first thing is going to be the sectioning. How many sections are you going to include in your portfolio, and what is the purpose of each section? Then the second thing that you need to pay attention to when it comes to your arrangement is the flow. There has to be a consistency or a consistent flow of things when someone is going through your portfolio, such that when they're going through the information you've given them, they're not confused on what they're supposed to know next. It is clear, it is visible, and they can be able to pinpoint that this is the next thing that I'm supposed to know about this person. Now, with that being said, I'm truly hoping that you guys found this particular video to be enlightening. If you did, then make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because it really does help support my channel. But up to that point, I would really like to know your thoughts. I would really like to hear what your views are. If you need me to do a tutorial on building a portfolio, I told you guys it's gonna come, so let me know which tool you'd want me to use, because I'm thinking of doing 3, either one in Notion, one in Framer, and one in Behance, which is my designer portfolio. If you'd want me to do for all of them, also do let me know in the comment section down below. But up to that point, that is it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. If you still feel like you want to watch another video from me, I did do a video where I got to talk about how to find a job as a beginner. I am going to link it here, and of course I am going to see you in that video.